Yeah, they're definitely shielding this. Catching moves from a Fairy-mon on a fighter. Yeah, this is... I mean, I don't know if this is going to help me at all. Ah, we get it off! I swear if I win this one... Oh my gosh. There's no way. There's no way, right? Hold up. I probably should... I'm going to get farmed down here. That's the unfortunate part. Yeah, I don't think I win this one. It's not enough. I know it's not enough to KO. Wait! Did it have to throw? Oh, no. Yeah, it's not enough. It's going to be a Draco. If it's an Iron Head, I live it. But my mistake there is throwing the... Oh, wait. It is an Iron Head. What? Oh. We did it. I did not expect that. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I have a really fun team for you all today. It's been a team that I've been trying to make work for a while now. I caught 100% Zamazenta back when they were in raids, and I was trying to make it work, but just could not make it work until recently I got a Zacian. And this honestly started off as a meme team, but I have been running double dogs, and it's been working quite well for me. The team is a Melmetal with a Zacian safe swap and a Zamazenta in the back. And the Zacian moveset I'm running is actually Wild Charge and Play Rough. I found that this probably gives me the best coverage, and most Zacians are running close combats, so a lot of opponents aren't really expecting both Wild Charge and Play Rough, which means that you could play a lot of mind games with it. I was able to go on a 10-0 streak with this team earlier this week, and I've been climbing quite a bit since as well. Before I get into battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to some of my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. The big thing with this team is that all three Mons have a lot of play against Dialga, which is probably one of the most common Pokemon in Master League. So you already have quite a sizable advantage right there. Zacian leads can be a little bit tricky, mainly because most are going to go for that close combat, and they're going to win CMP. So what I try to do is CMP tie, if possible, on that first one. I don't think I did on that one. I think they just threw a little late. And then because of that, I'm just going to swap out here. I'm able to grab both shields. This one's actually running Wild Charge as well. So I'm going to let this go. I know I probably get this move off regardless of what comes in. And it's actually going to be a Lugia. Resisting all those Dragon Tails is really nice with Zacian, even after being pretty much at like 5% health. So able to completely take out the Lugia there. Coming back in with my Zacian, I do live this close combat, so I'm going to shield. I'm not going to shield, just in case I need that shield for the Zamazenta in the back. And it is a Giratina. Here's the thing with Zamazenta. As a fighting type, it's rare they use it to beat ghost types, but Zamazenta is really solid there. You can live a Shadow Ball, but I decided to shield just so I don't get baited with Ominous Winds afterward. But these crunches really add up, even though they're non-stab. Again, you still live a Shadow Ball from this range. You pretty much think of it like a Zacian in terms of bulk. As long as it's neutral, it's going to do, pretty much the same thing. So if you're not familiar with Zamazenta, use the Zacian as a gauge. Again, Zamazenta is the best counter, really, for Giratina here. Although I'm running Play Rough on my Zacian, it's much hard to get to be honest, and especially if they have an energy lead, you're going to get outpaced. But again, you live the Shadow Ball. Not too worried here. I'm going to let this go because, again, the whole team has a lot of play against Dialga. I have a shield advantage, so even though I don't have close combat on my Zacian, which is much better for that Dialga, I still have a shield advantage, so I should be okay. Okay, all right. Not a fan of the dogs. It's all good, Chags. But here I come in with the Play Rough here. Unfortunately, close combat would be a little bit better here, but that's all good. Again, having the shield advantage is quite nice. And now I should be able to finish off this Dialga and then finish off the Kyogre here. I'm just going to throw my Wild Charge right away because I should be able to swap out here. All 3 Pokemon have debuff moves, so you really want to be very keen on watching your switch timer and also knowing when to swap out and when to preserve things. Dialga leads, very solid. Again, the whole backline has a lot of play against it. Mewtwo is actually very tough for the team's backline. Those side strikes really hurt Zamazenta and also hurt Zacian quite a bit, and they just get to it so quickly. So I just try to take out Mewtwo's as soon as possible here, and they are staying in. So essentially you want to put this low enough so they're in snarl range, so even if they shield and they drop a focus blast on me, not the end of the world. I'm going to shield this one though, because it seemed unlikely they would shield for anything besides the focus blast there. So now they lock themselves in with their Giratina, which again, very solid for the Zamazenta here. Let's see if they shield this or not, and they don't. Okay, so they come in with their Dialga. Unfortunately, not enough to take it out here, so I do have to watch out for potentially a Thunder or a Draco, especially because they have a shield advantage. I do swap into my Zacian here. This is going to do a lot of damage with the Iron Head. But they come in with Mewtwo, hoping to probably catch a close combat, but I do not have close combat, so did not end up mattering. They're going to throw an Iron Head here, but I should be able to get to a Superpower pretty quickly. So Dialga leads, very solid for the most part, but they're actually a little bit trickier to play in the back end. If they swap out and you still need to stay in there. All right, Zarude, kind of a more neutral matchup, but they actually come in Zacian here, which is quite nice. Zacian is much harder for me to deal with, although if they're not running Play Rough, Zamazentas actually have a decent amount of play against Zacians too, because they have to debuff themselves and your close combats start really adding up, despite the fact that they resist fighting. So I'm going to throw this Rock Slide at a debuffed one, and then I come in with my own Zacian, and I do end up getting hit by Play Rough. That's all good. And I throw a Power Whip here. Do I get to a Play Rough? I do not, but they don't know I'm not running close combat, so they end up shielding Wild Charge. Worked out really solid for me. And then now we're gonna come in with my Zamazenta. Again, use the bulk of Zacian as a guide if you've never used Zamazenta before, but you could tank a Power Whip pretty well, just like Zacian could as well. And then now I'm gonna come in with my Melmetal to finish this guy off. They have an Excadrill in the back. For some reason I thought that we've already seen all 3 Pokemon, but not the case. But that's okay, because I still have a shield. I'm going to close combat. These Vine Whips are not going to do enough, and I could snarl down. Again, Zacian leads can be quite tricky. So the first one, we were able to throw Rock Slide before their second close combat landed, but this, I think they throw both. Oh no, okay, so I was able to CMP there. But sometimes you don't CMP, and then they throw that second one, you have the double shield. There might be a clip of that. I'm not really sure here, but it does happen sometimes, and I do commit both shields there. You should be able to CMP at least. All right, so I'm going to go for double close combat. Should do quite a bit of damage. I think in that scenario, I was okay with letting my Zamazenta go. I think I did that on purpose because I did not want their Zacian to farm energy off of my Zamazenta. The Snarls are resisted, so they could get quite a bit of energy there. And then now my opponent actually swaps in a Yveltal into Zacian. Not really sure why they did this. It might have been just you know, a panic swap, or I don't know. But I guess their Zacian's very low, so they didn't want to get snarled down. But after that, no big deal. I'm just going to Thundershock down the Zacian. All 3 mounts have a lot of play against Yveltal as well, actually. You don't see a ton of them, but it's nice to see him. Ho in the lead. I will say vast majority of Ho's are in the lead. I think I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 Ho's that were not. This person actually catches the Rock Slide on their Zacian. That was an animation glitch. But their Ho did not actually take a Rock Slide. So, puts me in a little bit of a tighter spot. I am going to try to catch a close combat here, which I do, which is perfect. Because I really need a little bit more of advantage after they call that energy on their Zacian, because their Ho is still very, very healthy, and Ho is quite strong against Zamazenta in the back. I'm going to probably throw this Wild Charge as soon as possible, just to debuff myself, but they actually come in with a Zarude. So that's okay, and they shield too, so that's actually very, very big for me. I am going to just let this Power Whip go, and then get to this next one. They actually catch a close combat on their Ho too. Unfortunate, but it does put them in Rock Slide range now, so it's not the end of the world. And they actually go for Earthquake there. This one's probably going to be Brave Bird. I'm surprised they didn't do it the other way around, but that's totally fine with me. I do end up throwing a Rock Slide there, and I had to go for double superpowers because I know they need to farm me down to finish me off. Able to get to double superpowers despite my opponent making 2 great catches throughout the match too. So really well played by them, but unfortunately was able to still take the win from them. All right, going against Melmetal. So here's what I noticed: if you throw your superpower, your first superpower, before you get to 2, you usually can catch their move on the Zacian. Most anticipate you to double up there and then throw your superpowers. So what I like to do is actually throw right before I get to that second superpower, just so that I can swap out on my Zacian. Because again, the Zamazenta is probably going to be the best matchup there. And able to still get to another Wild Charge against this Lugia, absolutely nuts. But again, resisting that Dragon Tail damage, even despite being quadruple debuffed, still very, very strong. All right, now I'm just going to take a bunch of superpowers. That's fine. Zamazenta should be okay. And they actually come in Giratina. It's actually perfect for me because Zamazenta is very, very strong against Giratina. And they're going for Ominous Winds. Unfortunately, not enough. Maybe they're going for a boost, but I should be able to outpace them. And then I'm going to swap in here just to finish off this Giratina. I still have 2 shields, so I'm going to shield 1 move. If it's Ominous Wind, it's Ominous Wind. Not a big deal. But I was able to finish off this Melmetal, and then now should be fine here against the Giratina. Another Zacian lead. Lots of Zacians. Kind of have to prepare for it, of course. Let's see if this is the one where I had to double shield. It might be. But if I've had to do it a few times. I was trying to time it here. Unfortunately, was not able to. Good no shield by them. You could also be baiting a Flash Cannon, so that's also potential. Okay, so I guess it's not the one where I was able to CMP at least here too, which is nice. Swapping over here again. Let's see if I catch... No, so they know. So they went straight for Play Rough. Landers is kind of annoying, to be honest. Zamazenta is not bad against it because they had to go superpowers, but it still does a good chunk of damage to you. I do have to watch out for potential superpower here, so I should go in Zamazenta here because they had to go for superpowers, and I'm just going to throw the crunch right away so I don't have to worry about debuffs. They come in Zacian here. This is probably going to be a close combat, so I'm going to shield it. They do have a Play Rough, but I'm hoping that I could... I don't know, actually. I'm actually kind of confused at my gameplay right now. Okay, so I think my play here is to farm down this Extra Drill. Yeah, that's the play. Because I know I survive a Drill Run. Again, think of it like a Zacian. Zacian can survive a Drill Run pretty easily. I have to go for a debuff here. I think this is my win con. And I get the debuff. And let's see. This close combat, not enough to do enough, but had enough energy banked where I could still take out the Zacian with the Zamazenta working out quite well there. So even without debuff, it would have actually worked out quite fine. I could have just actually gone for close combat in the last one as well too, because they weren't going to get to move either way. But all right, so same thing. Throwing when you're right before the second superpower, and then you catch a move here. They are getting rid of all the energy here, which is quite nice because my Zacian has no problem surviving it. I still get to these Play Roughs too, so that's actually quite big. Let's see if they shield. They do shield. I find most Giratinas still shield these anyways, but that's fine. They're going for Ominous Wind. Now I come in, lock it in with my Zamazenta. The question is, do I shield the Shadow Ball or not? I think it's probably worth the shield because I have 2 shields. Again, they could be baiting me, and they do. But that's fine. I still get to this crunch and able to finish it off. And they come in with a Dialga. So you want to throw this close combat right away. And they no shield it. I don't know if they just didn't anticipate it, or I don't know, they're hoping to sweep a Melmetal, but a lot of people do not expect the Zamazenta to do as well there, and they're going to concede the match right there. All right, Giratina lead, one of the tougher leads, but I find that most tend to stay in here, and so you just go straight for the Play Rough. You could also build up a little more energy, but I just go straight for it. I always shield the first one. Most tend to go straight Shadow Ball. I don't think I've ever seen one where they went Ominous Wind first. I go for a second one. If they commit 2 shields here, that's fine. And they actually caught the move on Melmetal, so it's actually even better for them. So I'm actually going to swap out here, save my energy, and force them to throw some superpowers here. So they do. I'm going to just farm up a little bit more extra because they come in with their Giratina. I also have the crunch right there for it, so that should be solid. And here comes a Tyranitar. Unexpected. I actually expected Giratina, which is why I threw a crunch there, and then now I'm forced to just throw this play rough. They no shield. I'm in kind of a tight spot, not going to lie. So let's see how they play it out. I actually come in Zamazenta, draw their energy, which is quite nice. They throw Ominous Wind. Luckily, no boost. That would be quite tragic. I'm going to shield here. Yeah, it's kind of a 50-50 call, but I kind of need the shield Shadow Ball to survive. They had to throw a Shadow Ball and an Ominous Wind at this point. So let's see if we can outpace them or not. But that Shadow Ball is going to do quite a bit of damage, and hopefully this third Rock Slide should be enough, and we get to it. Able to finish off there. Kind of a weird matchup. Didn't really expect a T-Tar. Had I just thrown the close combat, I probably would have been in a better spot, but ended up working out. And as you can see, going on another 5-0, back-to-back 5-0s, going 10-0 overall in these two sets, and climbing almost to 2000s. I was able to climb even more after this, but this is, again, early this week. Running this line. I had a ton of fun with this line. Are there better Mastery lines out there? Absolutely. But, you know, something more satisfying than just beating your opponents? Beating them with a Zamazenta. It just makes the game a lot more fun, in my opinion. If you end up using the scene, best of luck. Hope you have a lot of fun with it. If you do not have a Zamazenta, one thing you could replace it with is a Yveltal. It's got some similar-ish coverage, but it does have some differences as well. It's honestly better against Giratinas, but it struggles a little bit more against Melmetals and Landorus and things like that. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll see you all next time.